We got fish, we got like Michigan bluegills that the kids caught, frog legs, smoked eel, amberjack, cobia, duck gizzards, Michigan squirrel, Michigan cottontail rabbit. Here's something that's been really weighing on me, man. Dino nuggets. How this came to be in my freezer. It's fun, nutritious, and delicious. And I'd be like, I don't agree. I disagree. But here they are. My name is Steve Rinella. I'm the Chief Creative Officer at MeatEater. I'm a writer, podcast host, TV host, and I've been involved in outdoor media for my entire career.
You got him? Come on.
And I moved to Montana in, I think, '96. Spent a decade living in Missoula, living in Bozeman, living in Miles City, down in Thermopolis in Wyoming. And once I started having kids, I knew I wanted to come back this way. There's a lot of great access to go do stuff. You know, you take off in any direction and go do fun stuff. And a major factor for me is that our kids do really well here and like to be here. As much as anything, it's a family decision. This is my home in Bozeman, Montana, where I live with my wife and our 3 kids, and let's take a look around. I was moose hunting in Alaska, and we found this. This is a big freaking shed. That's a bruiser moose shed. And here's just all their skulls and stuff. We had a lot of this hanging around. This is our entryway when you come in the house. Just things that mean stuff to us, you know. This is our fish shack, which is up in southeast Alaska. It's kind of fallen down, but it's a real special place. You know, we've moved with our kids a lot over the years, but they've always known this place. They go there every year, so this has been more of a constant presence in their lives than any of the houses we've had. There's a cattle rancher, you know, just a landowner that owns this big hill up here. It's never been developed, so we spend a lot of time looking through the spot and scope, and we've seen a lot of great animals, wildlife viewing all along this hill, so we like to sit and look out. That's kind of one of the main things that I like about this house, because there's a ton of glass. This is beavers. That's all like beavers plugging up drainage ditches and beavers that got in trouble with people. When I was a kid, my dad had a handful of classic mounts, shoulder mounts, you know. For me personally, I think the skulls look so much cooler than taxidermy shoulder mounts do. Aesthetically, I really like the skulls. I think they're gorgeous. They're like nature's work of art. This is a buffalo. It died south of here. There's a high probability that it died around 1760. If you start looking for them, you find them, you know. This one, all that was showing is that right there. That was sticking out of the ground. I was backpacking in the panhandle of Idaho, and I was going along, and here's this elk skeleton laying there, and I'm picking all these pieces up, and look at this. That's a muzzy broadhead. And that son of a bitch, look at that. That would have been his spinal cord. Healed around it, didn't kill it, probably barely phased it. But that dude, if he'd have been a 1/4 inch lower, he would have dropped that bull. My littlest boy, he finds we're at my buddy Doug's house, and he's looking around in the barn and finds this this house cat skull. And he's like, man, we're gonna put that with the skulls. So that lives up here. But a lot of this other stuff's all stuff from hunting, you know, but I like it. That's a mammoth molar. I mean, there's a lot of history to the different stuff that's here, but I don't know, man, I think they're badass. I love them. I like looking at them. I never get sick of looking at them. This is our cooking area. Some folks call it a kitchen. A lot of projects here. It's kind of stripped down and nice. I really like it. I like things that are empty surfaces, like this kind of stuff down here, man, makes you want to like lose my mind, but I just kind of ignore that. I like super big work area. We'll put a whole deer, 2 deer, whatever, on this counter and butcher the whole thing. We do some crazy projects on this big thing, and this is like a, I can convert it into a butcher shop. We have a closet. Here, I'll show you. I keep a lot of meat processing equipment here. Also in here is my daughter's box of American Girl accessories, which doesn't fit with the butcher theme, but it's here. Barnett, yeah, this is the butcher closet. I'll tell the kids, go to the butcher closet, get the vacuum sealer. A lot of things like in the cookbooks I do, a lot of the things that preparations or recipes that'll become things in the book start here. When I'm cooking, I never measure anything. If I'm just like cooking for myself or cooking for my family, I don't measure anything. Everything I do by eye, just randomly throwing stuff together, never cooking the same thing twice the same way. But that experimentation down the road leads to like very specific recipes that people can follow. Well, I was brought up, we had a dinner bell. I remember my mom coming out and bang, bang, bang that dinner bell, and you'd come and we'd eat dinner together. So this is where we always sit. And this is one of the more important areas for me in terms of being a dad and raising kids, is I really like to sit at night and have supper with everybody. This is cool. This tine is a kicker tine. Like this tine shouldn't be here. And so it'd be like all moose antlers, it would just lay like this. But it grew a prop. It just feels like an art object more than anything. If you look at the color, I don't know, it's just, you couldn't design something that looked as cool as this looked. Especially with a little kickstand on it. Here's our kind of outdoor hangout area, cooking area. Closest to the door, I have just like your classic gas grill. I used to look down my nose at these things, but they have a place. I use it all the time. It's just fast. I can tell my kid, hey, go start the grill. He knows how to start the grill. We can cook stuff in a hurry. Big dryer, make jerky and stuff in there. This, it's an industrial-ish grade deep fryer. I like to have it outside. You just generate a lot of smoke and smells. When my wife and I lived in a little apartment, I had her one time, she was like, why do the bath towels smell like fried fish? So I keep it outside. In recent years, I've gotten more and more into, I'll get beef tallow. When our potatoes in the garden are going good, we grow just little Yukon Golds. A favorite thing I like to do is I like to steam those little potatoes and then press it. Like you take a fork and press that little potato and it almost looks like a blossom, like a flower blossom. And I'll take those steamed pressed potatoes and drop them in that beef fat. And man, that is some good shit, man. Oh, here, this is a hog. We were hog hunting in Hawaii and I shot another hog and this hog was just squealing right after I shot it, and this big boar came in. I thought he was gonna kill me. I mean, I'm not joking. I shot this boar from me to that cooler with an arrow, and that arrow, boom, punched him right there. That was it. Where this says use other side, it's because this is my cooking wood. That's alder, and this is all cherry, and that's oak, and I don't want people just burning it up. So this sign, this is directed toward my family, meaning don't mess with this wood, mess with that wood. Vertical smoker, runs on propane. We do a lot of fishing here. You can hang eels in there, and we'll do whole whitefish, all kinds of different fish in here. I love this one. This is a pellet grill. Just burns these pellets. I used to be skeptical of these things because it seemed weird you'd have to buy wood, but man, they're real nice. That wood there, I burned that wood in this. I had this before I was married to my wife, and we've been married 16 years. It's as good as the day I got it. This thing will never go bad. This is one of my favorite cookers right here. This is true in life in a lot of different ways. There's things you recognize are worthwhile, right? When you're cooking outside, when you're eating outside, your body knows it's good. I feel like it's like physiological, it's biological. You know it's good. With this setup, I love to cook outside, and I've got a way that I can just cook outside every night. It's just easy, it's frictionless. I don't have to go get the grill out. And it just facilitates a lot of outdoor cooking because it's so convenient, man. I can come out here in February, snow piled up to here, but I could be out here in my socks, making cool stuff outside. This is a buffalo scapula, hunting moose. We'll make this noise to mimic a bull, rack and brush. A lot of people use moose scapulas, but I feel like this, I don't know, that's gonna work good when it gets dry. That just needs to be ready by September 10. My boy got this, barracuda's head. This is my garden, which is having a hell of a year this year because it snowed last night. We had to cover the whole thing up with bed sheets. It's just been a terrible year for gardening. But what I do, I try to grow things that have a broader window of doneness. I like to grow potatoes, carrots, because shit, you can pick a carrot in July or you can pick that carrot in November. You can dig down and pick it under the snow. So I like to grow stuff like that. If I didn't travel for work, all I would do is grow vegetables probably. From here, we'll walk over to my garage / workshop. Another thing I like to have a hard time living without is cabinet pedestals. This is the first one. I found this one on like Craigslist or some shit like that. See how banged up it is? And I bought this for next to nothing because it's all beat up. And then I eventually bought a brand spickety new one. And this, I think, is now, of all my different workbenches I've had over the years, I think this is 100% the best setup. I also keep so besides just tools, like when I'm packing my backpack, I'll have just things I might want to grab. Fire starting stuff, if it's somewhere wet and cold, all kinds of different tripod attachments, ear protection, just whatever, wind indicators, cutlery for skinning. I got stuff like my buddy Tyler Friel, he made these, he's got like ulus, he made by hand. I use these now and then. A lot of Montana Knife Company knives, kind of like some specialty. That's a weeb flesher. That's a tail stripper. So I got kind of weird shit like that too. So if I'm packing, I kind of have a way I kind of move around to pack up my stuff. And one of the things I do is open these drawers to get what I want. This pegboard system is by a place called Wall Control. I love this junk. This is the second house I've had this wall control set up. A lot of the stuff's just stuff I need to get at and use all the time, but some of it's just weird stuff. I don't know why. This came off a buddy of mine's place. This is like a core. This is a piece that someone might have carried around with them. So you'd have this, right? This would be what you'd keep with you. And when you needed a piece, bam, you'd knock that piece off to make arrowheads. Here's the deal about garages too, is I think a lot of dudes don't realize how much space you're wasting when you're not using all your overhead space. So this perimeter is lagged into the studs. And man, like in terms of just getting junk out of your way, there's certain stuff I just pile up there. So I got like a mag pole case, pole spear, ice fishing shanty, ice spear, recurve bow, tons of fins, waterproof gun case, a little sled for carrying elk quarters and stuff, ice saw, spud, whatever, all tree stands. Like big junk, I'll stick it up there and it vanishes. If I was gonna give life advice to someone, it would be make a place in your garage to put shit overhead and never have a plan B. That would be my 2 pieces of life advice. This is just a season 10 poster from show MeatEater. This is my old man with a blackberry killed with his recurve. That's me and my old van. I bought that van. I traded $250 in a Husqvarna chainsaw for that van, and that's the day I killed it, come back from duck hunting. So that's my garage area. I'll show you right through this door is my writing area where I work. It's small, man. This was whoever had this house before, it was their wine cellar. So we just I put bookshelves in it. But yeah, it's tight, man. I can reach out and touch both walls, but it works for me. I've never had a big elaborate office space. And in fact, I wrote several books having no office space. I mean, I wrote several books, whatever, sitting in bed, sitting on a couch without any kind of desk. This desk, me and my old man years ago, we cut down maple. I sent it off and had it cut into planks. This is when I was in high school. Put stickers between those planks and I had them sitting in my dad's pole barn. After he died, I took all those planks and built this. And my deep fryer sits on another one I made. It was all from that stuff me and my dad cut down and milled up. I did a book about raising outdoor kids in an inside world. I wrote that in here. And then this is our newest title, MeatEater Outdoor Cookbook, wild game recipes for the grill, smoker, camp stove, and campfire. And yeah, a lot of the writing for this I did in here. You know, there's so much more than writing that goes into one of these. It's a lot of experimentation, a lot of time spent outside. But you know, in the end, you got to put it into words, man. And this is where I would work on that. I've always been very particular about getting things where I want it. I guess I try to lay things out aesthetically in a way that just like where things feel good. You know, you see things that are reminders of the positive things in life. So that's important to me. Especially with raising kids, it's like we just want them to have a bit of a sanctuary. We want them to have a place they want to be, a place they feel welcome, a place where things seem predictable, you know, where things seem constant, right? And safe, and that's what we've tried to build here. We create a place where we want to be and we want our kids to want to be and where people feel welcome.